Hello and welcome to Destiny Digits. This is going to be the life path reading for life path number 7. Really quickly, let's just talk about the meaning of a life path. Your life path number talks about the traits that you were born with as you entered the world, right? So these were things that you already possessed. These are not things that you gained while here. Your life path reveals an opportunity that is available to you based on the energy that you come in with. So as a 7, you are going to battle two different energies at the opposite side of a spectrum. So 7s are either battling being self-centered versus being introspective. So these are typically people who tend to be very intuitive. They tap into their feelings and they go within. But do they go within where they are their only perspective? Or are they introspective where they go within to get a better picture and understanding of the world, people, and situations around them? And so we have a 5-card spread. This talks about your current position. This is what supports you. This is what challenges you. And this 4th card talks about your subconscious, a hidden power, something that lies dormant. And finally, the 5th card is going to be what spirit is guiding you to do. Sometimes we call it like a spiritual nudge. It's pushing you in a certain direction. And then we have 3 cards from the Starseed Oracle, followed by 2 cards from the Soul's Journey. All right, let's dig in. So the first card talks about your current situation or your current space that you're in. This is the 4 of Pentacles. Pentacles in general talks about all the tangible things available in earthly life, things that you can absorb through your 5 senses. But the 4 specifically talks about being able to manage resources wisely, possible business decisions. It talks about your ability to decipher when you're supposed to give or withhold. That could be money, that could be emotion, and that can be time. Either way, it talks about your ability to have a smart approach to the things that you hold in this life. So this is the current space that you're in. Next card we have is the 4 of Wands. Wands talk about energy, passion, and charisma. The 4 of Wands reveals that this is a period. This is what supports you. So potentially in life, there's something that you can celebrate. Some accomplishment that you have achieved. This talks about sending gratitude to spirit for the current space that you are in. It also talks about prosperity. It talks about peace, either that you currently possess or that is coming to you. Overall, 4 of Wands is about contentment in life. You are at peace with where things are. The next card is the King of Swords. This is a challenge. Sometimes a challenge, we can say that this is what strengthens you, right? So this 3rd card talks about something that you need to give you strength or to grow you as you progress through this journey. Now, a king can talk about a person, or it can talk about it can be a person in your life, or it can be an energy that you need to kind of mold or grow into. So what does the King of Swords represent? It talks about someone that's intelligent, someone that's impartial, someone that is very respected by others. It talks about someone who's pretty fair-minded. The swords talk about our mental space and clarity. It can also talk about a person that's objective and they have the ability to communicate clearly because they've sorted through all their thoughts. And so if this is not the current energy that you possess, this is something that you need to grow to, or this is someone in your life that represents the attributes of this card. The 4th card talks about your hidden power, something that is lying dormant within your subconscious that you don't know you have. We have another king here. These could be 2 people, one you, one another. Gender does not matter. But this time we have the King of Wands. So the King of Wands talks about energy. This is a person that is passionate, very confident. This is a person that at times can be restless, right? But nonetheless, with all of their passion, they trust their instincts. So when they get an urge to pursue something, they trust it, they follow it, and it turns out to be something that benefits them in the end. And this can also represent passionate relationships that you have. The last card, the High Priestess, this is the spirit guide. This is what spirit is moving you towards, or this is the spiritual nudge. The High Priestess represents your ability to meditate, right? And so this talks about the fact that you can turn inward, and when you do that, you are acknowledging the desires of your soul. It talks about the fact that you have the potential to develop your intuitive gifts as you go within. So this is not about the worldly senses. This is about that spiritual sense that we all possess, but it's definitely something that we have to grow and strengthen over time. And in the end, it talks about wisdom. So spirit is asking you to acquire wisdom by strengthening your intuition. So this current phase is about when to hold and when to release your time, your energy, your money, or your resources. It's saying that you do have something to celebrate, but you need to be practical and clear in the way that you communicate with others, or you need to follow the leadership of somebody in your life that holds this energy. And then what you don't know is that there is a level of passion and charisma that you can tap into as you develop this intuitive sense with the High Priestess. Now, these three cards are from the Starseed Oracle. So first card said, all paths lead home. This talks about intuition and inner authority. This immediately takes us back to the High Priestess, where you're asked to tap in and to strengthen your intuition. So spirit is saying that when you turn your gaze within, you have the ability to hear and to follow the desires of your soul. Next card we have are the Whale and the Orca Elders. This talks about diving deep. So there are parts of us that sometimes we are afraid or we are resistant to tapping into. So this says to share your song. Every whale has a different sound at a different frequency, and every human has a different uniqueness and objective in regards to their life on earth. And so spirit is saying that you possess something that is special to you, but you have to tap into the deeper aspects of who you are in order to fulfill the gifts and acquire the wisdom that you need to really fulfill the journey in this life. The last card, this talks about conflict. It says the great severing. We have anger, conflict, and softening to love. And so sometimes when we change aspects of ourselves, people don't understand us. They only know us as being one way. But when you learn to follow a sixth sense, a different sense, your intuition, people may not understand that. And it may be conflicts or anger, emotion that propels you into this space of just quieting your mind and going deep within. It also talks about softening to love. Love is the most powerful force, the most powerful energy. But the way you approach it really determines how it benefits you. And so anger is an aspect of fear, right? Fear is the opposite of love. And sometimes the conflicts we have are because there is something that we fear. And so spirit is asking you to tap into your wisdom in a way that is impartial, right? Draw on a sense of intelligence and navigate things almost as someone who's getting an outside perspective on your life. Don't be so deep that you follow all your emotions and believe them to be true. Wisdom and intuition will kind of give you the bigger picture of what you're going through and why you're going through it. The last two cards are from the Soul's Journey deck. The first one is empathy. I'm open to seeing both sides of a situation. Empathy is literally putting on the shoes of another person to understand their perspective in a situation. And so remember, as a 7, at times you can be a little self-centered, but Spirit is asking you to step outside of yourself and to step in the existence and the experience of another so that you can develop the parts of you that are undeveloped, right? And then lastly, we have gratitude. I'm thankful for this life and the opportunities that it presents. So whether it's a challenge, whether it's a celebration, Spirit is asking you to always be in the energy of gratitude. Be thankful. Sometimes our struggles, our challenges, our anger, our conflict, our necessary evils, they are just as beneficial as the peaceful times because they grow us, but they grow us at an accelerated rate. All right, so 7s, let's just talk about your vibes. So when a 7 is operating in its full potential, they are very analytical, right? They spend a lot of time in their mind. They're logical. They tend to be reserved, possibly an introvert, but they're inventive, very knowledgeable. Introspective, intuitive, and studious. 7s like to discover the workings of the world, but definitely the workings of the inner world of humanity. Now, when 7s are not operating in that high vibe, they have a tendency to be calculating things. Sometimes they can withdraw. They can be very cynical, overly analytical, insensitive to the experience and the journeys of another, or they can just be aloof and just distrusting everyone. And so remember, as a 7, your challenge is to battle the energies of being self-centered versus introspective. So when you go within, is it only at your own benefit, or are you going in within to better understand the situation